Hey team, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Bake with Jo, the completely professional and super expert level cooking show where I teach you how to make some super easy, super tasty recipes without giving you food poisoning. Mapes. Today I'm actually going to be giving you an insight into the live Bake with Jo that I did for a charity event for Free Soul Unity in aid of mental health and the NHS. So please, if you can, give your support by going into the description box, clicking on the GoFundMe link and donating £10 or as much as you can to this incredible cause. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, give it a comment, it really helps me out, and don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Enjoy the video. How is life treating us all? How's your day going? How's everyone feeling? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous, to be honest, because usually when things go wrong in a baking video, I can just cut it out and start again and pretend that I'm a professional chef. However, we're live, so anything can happen. We're going to be making some energy balls. I call them the Bake with Jo energy balls. Do you know what I mean? Don't mind me. We can make them into cookies if you prefer. But I'll kind of tell you how to do that later on. So for this recipe, you will need some porridge oats. We're going to use 100 grams of these. Now you need some nut butter of any kind. Yesterday, I actually tried these just to make, basically, I like play it by ear. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of measure out whatever I can. So I just like, what's the word, like eyeball it. But I actually did it yesterday just to kind of measure everything out so that I could give you like an actual recipe, if that makes sense, rather than just being like, just whack some oats into a bowl. So you'll need 100 grams of oats, any sort of nut butter. Yesterday I actually used a chocolate, hazelnut and peanut butter, handful, like mouthful to say that, but it was so delicious. But today I'm literally just going to use almond butter just because that's what I've got today. And you're going to need 90 grams of that, or I think I used about 2 tablespoons, but again, just play it by ear for consistency. And then you'll also need either some honey, something like sticky, just to kind of like mash it all together. I'm actually the most healthy, unhealthy, whatever, don't even care. I'm whacking some golden syrup in because again, that's all I've got. Couldn't get access to some honey, times are tough. And you'll also need literally just any sort of toppings. So like, I'm using chocolate chips today. Yesterday I didn't actually use anything in them because the chocolate like spoke for itself in the butter, if that makes sense. But you can use things like raisins, chia seeds. You can add some like flaxseed in there if you want to be like super health, do you know what I mean? Hashtag health. You can use like raisins, any sort of fruits, like little fruits chopped up, nuts, anything that you like. I'm literally just going for chocolate chips because chocolate is life. But again, you can use whatever you like. So let's jump straight in. I've weighed out my oats already because I don't have like a weighing scale like that's easy to use. So it's taken me several years to do it. So I've already weighed out my oats. So I'm just gonna literally whack those into a bowl. Oh my God, so easy. I know, right? You're gonna put those into a bowl. I'm gonna get, I haven't weighed out this. Hashtag fitness. I haven't weighed out this, but I'm literally just going to put a couple of tablespoons in and just measure out the consistency as we go. But we'll see. You should use 90 grams. I'm probably not gonna because I actually haven't got the weighing scales with me because I'm a donut and forgot. So, you know like the film that goes on top of those like nut butters? Foul. Oh my God, ew. I'm literally so, do you know what as well? I don't love peanut butter. I mean, I'm actually not gonna lie, I've never even tried peanut butter, but I just assume that it's just not gonna be my cup of tea. So obviously I'm using almond butter, but yesterday when I was using that hazelnut / peanut butter, it was actually delicious. So maybe I should give actual peanut butter a go. If you're allergic to nuts, sucks to be you, because I actually don't know whether there's an alternative for that. So yeah, sucks to be you. I'll find an alternative and like write it in just for those of you that are allergic to nuts or just don't love nuts. Do you know what I mean? But if you're like, I feel like that's too much. We'll see how we get on. This is just going to be a video of me eating. If you guys have seen any of my Bake with Jo videos, if not, go to YouTube, type in Jo Carney. You're welcome. If you've seen any of my baking videos, you'll know that I literally just eat the whole way through. because food is life, do you know what I mean? So all we're gonna do, if you've got a blender, this is perfect to just literally whack into a blender and blend. But I don't have a blender, and also I like to be #fitness whilst I'm doing it. So I just like to use the manpower that is my biceps and mix everything together. This is way too much peanut butter, 100%. But we're just gonna see how we get on. Oh, how are you all enjoying your day? Have you watched any of the talk so far? Let me know in the comments. I can see your comments down here. So let me know. Talk to me, keep me entertained whilst I'm stirring away. But I watched a couple of the videos today. I like to watch the dance videos, I'm not gonna lie. I am not much of a dancer anymore, used to be like the queen of dance. Not anymore, so I like to just sit and eat food whilst watching those, which is honestly not that great for a fitness professional, but it's okay. Lauren Danielle, love this so much. Go on, queen. I need some like proper manpower in this, and I'm not really giving it my all actually. But these are like so good just to have, these little energy balls. I don't know if any of you have seen the like Deliciously Ella, I think that's what they're called. Those energy balls, they're literally incredible, and these taste just the same, but obviously you can make them at home, and like those energy balls, no offense, are like so expensive for what they are, and this obviously is like not even, I don't know how much all of this stuff costs, but for like one serving of it, it's fab. And also I didn't actually check the calories for this specific recipe. I've made ones similar to this before that are 120 calories per ball, but again, it depends how big the ball is. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean? It's like the, oh my God, get your hands in there, girl. Oh, I don't even want to. I actually did for the other one. Do you know what I mean? For the gram. Oh my God, this is foul. But really good. Delicious. So yeah, these energy balls can literally just be like, they're such a good thing. They're so quick and easy to make. I'm literally taking my time because, do you know what I mean? I'm a drama queen. And a perfectionist, so I've got to make them beautiful. But these you can literally make in like 5 minutes, and they're so good just to keep in the house. You can keep them in the fridge, keep them in, like in the cupboard, wherever you want. I'd probably keep them in the fridge, to be honest. But they're so good just to have around as like a little snack. I know that so many of us are like worried about snacking at the moment, just because we're in our houses all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like most of us aren't really like allowed to go to work or anything. So when we're in the house, the fridge is literally right there. It's so easy to just go and like raid the fridge for no reason whatsoever, apart from the fact that you're bored. So these are like a good little thing just to have, just to kind of like be able to curb a little bit of hunger, give you a little bit of like nutrients and energy without really like worrying too much about overeating or anything. I know that quite a lot of people, one of the questions I posted a little question box for this live about like how, like what your struggles is when it comes to fat loss. Anything that I could kind of talk about to help. This is so disgusting, but delicious. Right, okay, so after we've kind of mixed a little bit of that in, I think I put a little bit of too much butter, nut butter in, but obviously if you weigh it out, if you've got weighing scales, then perfect. We're actually going to put 2 tablespoons of syrup, honey, whatever you want to use. I think you could, I mean, I don't want to say use avocado to like put it together because I've never tried it and I don't know how disgusting that would be. But you know what I mean? Give it a try. Go hard or go home, you know? So we're going to put 2 tablespoons of this in. I'm probably going to go a little bit less just because I've got enough like stickiness to go in there. Oh my God, yes. And also I probably would say, I'm going to put that there. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh. No, fudge it. I'm going straight in, do you know what I mean? You better give this bloody video a like, I swear, because I am getting my hands dirty for you over there, team. What was I talking about? I completely forgot now. But yeah, you can literally use anything to kind of bind this together. I'll try and put some like different variations of it in the group afterwards, just so that you've got like, if you don't have honey in your house or you don't have like syrup or anything like that, then you can use like alternatives. Is this vegan? Is nut butter vegan? Don't know. Is it? Someone let me know. Is it vegan? Because it could be vegan. It's probably not vegan. It might be vegan. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. So, once you have got your hands super dirty, we're gonna add the chocolate chips or literally any of your toppings, whatever. Oh my god, so cute. You're gonna get your chocolate chips or any sort of toppings, whatever you want to pop it in, like raisins, nuts, anything like that. Have we got any kitchen roll? Yeah. You know. Oh my god, this is actually delicious. I think it's even nicer with this almond butter, you know. So, we're gonna add those, that's just literally crumbled in my hands. Cute. We're gonna add some chocolate chips. Watch me not be able to open this packet now. Buzzing. And we're gonna whack way too many in there because you can never have enough chocolate in your life. Do you know what I mean? Chocolate is good for the soul. That's another thing as well, is that so many people ask, like, what's healthy, what's not healthy? And honestly, I'm like a huge advocate of you can pretty much eat what you want as long as, especially for fat loss, you can literally eat what you want as long as it's kind of in line with your goals. Now, I will never tell anybody to cut anything out. If you don't, I haven't even introduced myself. Hi, hello, I'm Jo, nice to meet you. If you don't know who I am, I'm an online coach, which is basically just, I help people with fat loss, fitness, confidence, pretty much every aspect of your life to become just like the best version of yourself. That's what I do for a living. I help specifically girls because Lord knows we need that self-love more than anybody. That's what I do. But that's what I kind of add, like, I guess, what's the word, like advocate for all of my clients is like, yo, if you want that chocolate, you eat it. If you want that ice cream, you eat it. There's no like food that's off limits when it comes to your fat loss. Because do you know what I mean? Like, some food is good for nutrients, some food is good for the soul, and chocolate just happens to be great for both. I'm using dark chocolate chunks, but you can literally use whatever. You can chop up some like actual chocolate, you can use white chocolate, you can use milk chocolate. I use dark chocolate just because it makes it like sweeter, I think. Which like usually I wouldn't actually use dark chocolate, like I wouldn't just eat dark chocolate normally. I wouldn't eat dark chocolate normally, but like in this is so perfect because it just brings that sweetness a little bit more, as if I know what I'm bloody talking about. Right, once you've got that, should look like this. Can you see it? Can you see it? Should look like that. You should have super messy hands, or if you've used a blender, clean hands. And all we're going to do is literally roll them into little balls. So again, you can kind of make these as like big or small as you like. I'm actually going to go, the bigger the better, do you know what I mean? I actually did them super small yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Roll them. Roll them. Have a little dance while you're rolling. Do what you've got to do, hon. Do you know what I mean? To get you through the day. I actually have, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yesterday I made them quite small just because I wanted to make enough to trial them in the oven. Because again, like, I haven't made these for like 2 years. So I don't actually know how long you're supposed to bake them for. I don't remember. I didn't write that when I did my original Instagram post on these. There you have it, ball numero uno. Go on then, hon. And you literally just keep rolling. It's quite therapeutic, to be honest. Do you know what? Not enough chocolate chips in there, guys. Can you eat one? Not enough chocolate chips. More chocolate the better is my motto. What was I even saying? I always forget. Oh yeah, so I need like an assistant with me so that they can be like, Jo, you were talking about this. Stop waffling. Come on. What was I even saying? I've gone off track again. Yes. So yesterday I actually made them really small because I wanted to trial some in the oven just to see what they were like as cookies. But the bigger the better, do you know what I mean? It completely depends on what size you make them. Depends on obviously how many calories are in them. But the ones that I made the other day were about 80 calories a ball because I made them quite small, maybe even a little bit less than that. I think they're maybe 60 to 80 calories. But these ones will probably be a little bit more just because, again, they're bigger. This one's smaller. Do you know what? We love all different shapes and sizes here. You know, there's no runt of the litter. It's just, no, that is a little bit small. Whack a bit more. And again, if you want them to look aesthetically pleasing so that you've got a good, like, Instagram pic, then crack on, huns. Give it a roll. Make it as big as you want. Make it look beautiful for Instagram and you're winning. I need to squish that down a little bit more. I feel like, have I missed out an ingredient? No. Okay, there's so many chocolate chips in here now. This is amazing. Another question that was asked is, somebody actually asked me, and I get this so often, somebody asked me, they said that they were eating 1,200 calories a day. I literally will have that for breakfast sometimes. She said she was eating 1,200 calories a day and she still wasn't losing weight. And all I'm going to say about that is that if you're eating 1,200 calories a day and you're not losing weight, you're probably not eating 1,200 calories a day. So definitely, if you are trying to lose weight, look at your food choices. Make sure that you're writing everything down in a food diary just so you can see exactly what you're eating. You don't have to track your calories if you don't want to. There's so many different methods to lose weight. But look at that, it's a beautiful bowl. Oh my God, I'm so happy. These have turned out way better than the other. I'm gonna make this one bigger because it just looks a little bit sad being so small. I've got such bad hay fever. Does anybody else have like terrible hay fever at the moment? I'm literally like crying every day because I just can't even like breathe. I remember once, this is so irrelevant and you don't care, but I remember once I went to a party and it was in a field, first of all. Who has parties in a field? It was actually great. But they had like a big hay field at the back of their house. And me and this poor other guy had like such bad, and this is before I really knew that I had hay fever. And me and this poor other guy were like literally suffering so badly. His eyes went cross-eyed. Like that's how bad it was. And people that don't have hay fever are probably just like, oh, whatever, like stop sneezing, get over yourself, like a chew. No, like my eyes are streaming. I've got like such itchy eyes. I have to like bathe my eyes 10 times. It's hard life. Anyway, nobody cares. Back to baking. These actually aren't really staying together as much as I would like, but it's probably just because I'm like being a bit careless with it. So do you know what I mean? You've got to give love to your balls. You've got to give love to your balls, girls. That is not a good way of putting that. But you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Give love to all your balls. Make sure they're all beautiful in their own way, whatever size, whatever shape. They're all perfect as they are. These look so nice. Oh, I'm so excited. I actually gave one of these to try to my boyfriend yesterday, and he literally spat it out. And I was like, oh my God, rude. But it was because I baked it, and the ones that I baked, I'd put on too high a temperature, and I'll tell you in a minute what temperature to cook them at, if you are going to cook them. But I literally cooked them too high at the beginning, because we had pizza beforehand, so it was at 200 degrees still. Roll it. But yeah, so I actually baked them just too high, and they were like burnt, to be honest, so that's great. Let me roll my last ball. But yeah, so if you are, back to my point that I made several hours ago that I've completely forgotten about until now, if you are eating 1,200 calories a day and not losing weight, that's probably why. You probably need to look at what you're actually eating, and it might even be that the days you might actually be eating that, but you get to a point where you're just so bloody hungry because 1,200 calories is nothing. And you'll end up actually binging a little bit. So you'll kind of get to a point where you're like, sorry, I'm actually well hungry, let me eat all the food. And you've probably, like, let's be honest, not going to fit any of the foods that you actually love into your food for that day. So it's probably a case of like, you've got to the end of the day, you see like a bit of chocolate or a pizza that your boyfriend's having and you're not having it because you're trying to be on a diet. And then all of a sudden you're like, fudge it, I'm gonna have a little bit of a blowout. And then because you've had that blowout, you end up like putting yourself in over your calories and not losing weight. So, do you know what, for this last one, I'm just gonna... Obviously, if you want to go healthier, please use something like honey. If you want to go clean with it, but do you know what I mean? Golden syrup. Who doesn't love a bit of golden syrup? I'm gonna have made 7. That's an odd number, isn't it? I'm gonna make them a bit nicer than this, to be honest. What time? What's the time? Where are we on? I can't tell the time. What's that say? 5 past. What does that mean? So I've got 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Bloody Nora, okay. Oh, this is too much now. Good. Nice little disaster. Do you know what? As Bob Ross would say, happy little accidents, you know? Whack those in. These last ones have got so much chocolate in. Love it. Right, one more and then I think we're done. Buzzing. This is like, and I get like an extra snack when I lick my hands afterwards. Safety first though, hygiene, food hygiene first. Make sure you've washed your hands. Make sure that the surfaces are clean, especially with all corona at the moment. See how we get on. I think this one's just going to be literally a whole ball of chocolate. Can't even see, you poor little angels. Maybe I should have put the camera down a little bit lower. Oh well. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed. So if you, once you've made these, if you want to actually bake them into nice little cookies, what I did yesterday, and what I think I did before, like 2 years ago, was I actually baked them for about 15 minutes at 160 or 170 degrees. So I would do that. I'd cook them on a lower heat, bake with Joe, on a lower heat for a little bit longer. Before I cooked them on about 200 for about 13 minutes, and it was just like they were too burnt on the sides. So definitely make sure this one's like the runt of the litter, but do you know what I mean? We love them all equally. They're all perfect in their own little way, you know? Right, ooh. Extra chocolate chip there. Let me wash my hands, one sec. Amazing, that'll do. So, I'm going to take you over here and you can see my finished product. I'm scared to hold them up because I know full well they're just going to like fall, I think. So I'll bring you over. Actually, do you know what? Fudge it. Bring them over to you, shall we? Look at that poor little one on the side. Look. Ta-da! This is the finished product. This is what they look like. Don't they look delicious? How sad does this one look? But also kind of looks the most delicious because it's got more chocolate chips in it. But if you do actually want to bake them, so you can just eat them like this and they're super delicious, super yummy. I actually prefer them like this, but if you fancy a nice little kind of dessert style thing, you can, I would put these in the fridge, cover them, put them in the fridge for like 30 minutes before you do bake them. But if you do want to bake them, you literally just squash them down into a cookie. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to squash them down for you so you can see. So I would squash them down into a cookie like this. And again, if you're, that's literally stuck to my hand, cute. So if you are baking them into cookies, I would make them a little bit bigger and make less of them. So you can make them into cookies, pop them in the oven, like I said, for about 15 minutes, 13 to 15 minutes on 160 to 170 degrees, and then take them out, literally serve them with like some Halo Top ice cream. Boom, you've got cookies and ice cream for dessert. You're welcome, huns. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that is the finished recipe, team. Do you love them? Should I try one as a taste test? We'll see. See what, oh, I'll try that one. So I want to take an Instagram picture of these. Do you know what I mean? Love it. Let me see what the other question was. Yeah, so somebody asked as well, like, it's super hard to know what's healthy and what's not and what's like right and what's wrong. And honestly, like I said, you can literally eat whatever you want. You know the foods that are going to be super healthy or nutrient dense. You know that like bloody kale and spinach and like chicken and peppers and veg and all of that sort of stuff is so full of nutrients. So I would definitely position your meals as like, plan those first with your protein. The way that I'd position a plate is whack your protein in there first. Obviously things like chicken, lean mince, like burgers, anything that you want, salmon, all of that sort of jazz. Put that first, that's like your first port of call. And then you want to put a ton of veggies on your plate. I always say like 2 to 3 different types of veg. Whack as much of your plate as possible. So having like half of your plate filled with just like a crap ton of veg. And then you can add your extra bit, so things like your rice, your pasta, whatever you want to have with it. Bread, like, I don't know, whatever else you want with it. Pop that on, but that's how I position your plate. And then you always know that you're having like a super filling from the protein and the veggies, super like nutrient dense from like all of the stuff, do you know what I mean, meal. And then you've got the things that like satisfy your soul as well. So I would do that, and then I would always make sure that you're not restricting yourself in any way possible. Like, don't feel like, oh my God, I can't have this because it's got a bit of chocolate in it or because it's got golden syrup in it. Like, hun, Have what you want to have, because otherwise if you restrict it for too long, you're going to end up getting to a point where all you want to do is eat that food and you're always thinking about it. It's going to be winking at you in the fridge, and you're just going to be sitting there like with that Kit Kat in the fridge winking at you. You might as well go and eat it, because you're going to eat it later anyway. Do you know what I mean? So if you don't restrict yourself, you're going to find it so much easier to stay on track of your goals. Let me try some. One thing I will say, fucking talking with my mouth open, with my mouth full, brilliant. One thing that I will say is definitely refrigerate these before you eat them. Just because it helps bind them all together. These are actually so nice. Do you want to try one? Do you want to try the cookie one? Give it a go. Give it a go. Aren't they good? You're really welcome. You're so welcome, team. Please, 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 I'll wrap it up. We've got 1 minute left. Please, please, please make sure if you do try these, tag me in your recipes. On Instagram, my name is Jojo Biceps Banter. I'll link all my stuff here. I'm sure like Lauren will sort it for you. But tag me in your recipes, tag me in your like recreations of it. I want to see exactly what you guys are doing, what sort of stuff you're using, whether you're using like nut butter, whether you're using, peanut butter, whether you're using like hazelnut butter, what sort of fillings you've got in them. Let me know. Send them to me, share them with me, tag me on your stories and let me know how you get on. That was me. I've been Jo. Places that you can find me. Obviously, like I said, you can go over to my Instagram, which is Jojo Biceps Banter. I'll pop a comment with it on here so that you can easily click on it. You can also find me on YouTube, where I do more baking videos, super professional and expert baking videos, you're welcome. And you can also, if you want to find out any more about coaching with me or anything like that, feel free to go to www.trainwithjo.com to find out a little bit more about what I do. But apart from that, I'll leave you guys to it. I hope you enjoyed the